Hi, Taurus. Uncomfortable. If you are uncomfortable right now and nothing's really wrong, it's just about being like more, it's like the uncomfort in your skin and how you're feeling and the changes that are happening even subconsciously to you right now, and it's big shifts. So yeah, it may feel uncomfortable. For some of you, you're beginning to feel the weight of these shifts, the weight of your desires, the weight of what you want, the weight of maybe the Uranus shift and the node shift. You may be receiving a lot more information. This reveals a lot about your structure to you, about what's working, what's not working, what is no longer going to work if you want this Ace of Pentacles. So having this makes you realize like what you need to walk away from. Old habits could be dying. There's so many things happening at once here, and mind you, I'm doing this today and I didn't start really feeling that. Like, I started feeling it, Taurus ascendant. I started feeling it and I didn't really know what it was, and then all of a sudden it happened, and now that the nodes have shifted, I feel it more than ever. And it's this constant like friction underneath your skin. It could feel like that for some of you, especially for those of you who are more sensitive in the skin. So the shift that's happening in you and how you maybe traditionally have done things, whatever you learned growing up, and now they seem like they're really shifting, they're really changing. Sorry. Discomfort. There is so much more to be revealed after this, and yeah, it can feel hard, but a part of you has already done it. Most of you just really need rest right now. Most of you need a rest from your own mind, because when you have big changes like this happen, you think you just want to get on a roll and have everything change at once. And Venus being in Capricorn going direct, it'll go direct after this comes out, before this comes out. So this underlying feeling like so much is changing, so much is shifting, gotta shift everything now. Well, it's just gonna keep rolling like that. It's not gonna just, you're not stopping it or starting it. It's just this roll that's going to continuously happen, and it's something that you've been working through for a while now, whether you realized it or not. But more than ever this month, you become aware of the weight of what you're walking away from. And some of you, it's just old belief. It's old belief of where you stand, where you're allowed to stand, or where you allow yourself to stand in current situations in your life. For most of you, it's your personal life, which affects everything else around you. There's this, so 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. During the course of this month, you're going to find that you'll need more rest, because what's changing inside you can't change yourself. When an astrologer told me about my chart, and I found it to be very, hold on one second. I found it to be very helpful for me. It's basically her saying that to allow the planets to work on me instead of having to be very yang and go after, allowing this to work on me. So when you feel this shift in your energy, even though you have the energy, but there's still, hold on one second, sorry about that, shift in lighting, you're going to be getting more attention. And not that you aren't used to it, but there's so much more of a light that's going to be shown upon you. And this Ace of Pentacles is indicating all that must go, if that's what you're coming into. Because if not, it's going to be like dragging yourself. And that doesn't sound fun or helpful. So it's getting used to being in the spotlight, being in the center of attention, being acknowledged for what you do, acknowledging yourself for what you do, because it's a real shift in value. We've talked about this for a while now, but now it's like Aquarius season, I've been saying, is brought the juice. And letting this work on you will give you the insight, the impulse to do things in an intuitive way where when you use that in other aspects of your life, you feel more secure, you feel okay, but then there's certain aspects of your life you don't feel as secure about using that side of your nature. This month is going to have you do that more. This month is going to ask you to do that more, and because it's important, especially to what necessary and needed changes are. This surrender to what's happening. And as someone who writes and is in the meditative world and, listens to people talk about what these things mean and contemplating for myself and asking yourself what these underlying values are, how you value yourself, how you value your relationships, what that even means to you, your relationship with so many different aspects of your life, it's proving to show what parts of you value more than others. And during this surrender, during this rest, during this change, it's almost like coming out of the cocoon, like you're preparing to come out. And yet you have no choice. It's nature taking its course. And if you think of it that way more, then you'll realize that what or who or how you're being approached is different. How you're also responding and approaching situations is different. There's more freedom in it now that you gave yourself the space, gave your structure about tradition and family space. You're giving a lot space and room and to grow. All that was subconsciously planted months ago is now beginning to grow, and then you're going to begin to be able to navigate this and navigate it in a way that's beneficial for you. You could feel like a newborn like a toddler in some ways, where you're just learning to walk and talk, and in other ways you're going to feel like a pro in different ways that you work. Overall, the most important thing to remember is when you move forward and you understand this slow growth. You can be stubborn when you want something and you know what it takes to get it. And there's a few signs like this, that when you do all of those things, you expect to get that thing. And you will. It's just that there is also freedom in when that thing or those things come to you. A lot of you will be meeting new opportunities this year that are asking you, again, to walk away from situations that are really good. They're not bad. They're not that you've worked hard and you've put your energy and time into these things, but it's just not right anymore. And you know that you need to walk away. You know how you need to handle it. And it's really important that you handle it well, because this person sees it coming. For whoever you have to give bad news to this month, this person this person may already sense it coming and has already been preparing how they feel or decide. They've already kind of decided on what to say. But when you come and meet that expectation of, yes, they saw it coming, but you say it, the way that you deliver it is very important this month. You may be frustrated with people. You may be frustrated with the situation, but that frustration is coming from the change. When you're changing, so much is happening that people don't realize. There's so many layers to you and very nuanced things that are changing. It's very Venus. It's Libra and Taurus. You're going through this change. So you must give yourself this rest in your mind in any way that works for you. I'm not just telling you to go lay down or sleep. There's so many different ways where you can rest your mind. And anywhere that you feel And anytime that you feel that, it's very important to express that your needs. You're entering this new opportunity, or new opportunity is being presented to you. It makes you realize what you need, and your needs are important. But you also need to remember to be a little flexible with yourself, because things are not always going to align in that way, because you're changing. So you have a lot of power, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot to say, but your delivery is the most important. There could be opportunities of love coming your way as well, but mainly opportunities to be more tempered. This is the challenge. And for some of you might end up moving. Set this temperance in the Tower. Some of you are physically going to end up moving this month, and it might feel like a surprise, but there's an offering from someone to change situations. This could have to do with your job, like the job, or the job opportunity. It could be like an actual location shift. And for others of you, it's this matchup of your values and you're getting really philosophical with yourself. And that's actually really important. So some of you are getting extremely philosophical with yourself. You may have a Sag you want to talk to about the things that you're going through. But for a lot of you, it's about what was even presented to you during this Venus retrograde in terms of your partnerships or yourself or your relationships. Since December, this is a culmination of what's happening, and the shift, this Tower moment that happens, is a shift in pace. So yeah, things are changing and shifting, and you're gonna have to move and be a little bit more agile, and you aren't going to be able to move as slowly as you want, but you have to remember that your decision to be dragged is just that. It's a decision. And I know it sucks. I know it sucks. I know it's not like the best feeling. It's actually extremely uncomfortable. I totally understand. But the commitment that you have to the lightness right now, instead of forcing certain things or allowing the frustration to take you down, is really important. It's being more committed to the process and your process. And if you need something, to say it and to speak up, and not just overgive yourself, not overgive your time, not overgive your emotional availability. You cannot overgive that right now. You don't have the capacity. I know for some of you, you're like, whoa, but yeah, you don't. And it's okay to say that. And you need to say that. Again, I'm talking to myself when I'm saying this. If you don't have the capacity and you don't have more to give right now, and you're being asked to give more, just state that. Because there's a big focus on this abundance, this newness, new ideas, and you can't get to those. You're an intelligent, sophisticated creature. And if you can't get to those gems, then no one's gonna know. The downloads that you're receiving from this Uranus transit is huge. And if you don't have that structured space for yourself, again, that looks different for everyone. Think of it as mentally, physically, emotionally, this structured space for yourself to mold and change this fixed, stubborn earth, then it's going to be extremely hard. So I'm just warning you now. And it sounds like I'm just like warning you, but I am, because if you get it and you allow yourself, there's so much beauty in what's happening right now. There's so much to be grateful for and thankful for, that you're able to transmute these nuances, these messages, whether it be in technology or yourself, the technology that you are. And we'll get more into that in the second part. Also, the second part of these readings, where we go through the cards and I kind of teach you and go through it into more detail with astrology, just slightly, are in the second part, and that will be on Patreon. Patreon is a separate place where creators put their content and receive an exchange for it of money. So it's $5. I know I don't really have to tell you how much money. You know, you're not someone who usually cares too much or is too frugal, but that link will be below, and more content will come when I have the available time. So easy. See how easy that was? So for the time being, it's important that you make decisions not based solely off how you're feeling, but to take what you're feeling, put it into context of your life right now, and make decisions like that. That sounds simple enough? I think so. And I also think that there's so much more that you're going to be given. There's so much more, again, the sophisticated nature that you are, to be a channel or a vessel or this in between, this messenger, whether you realize it or not. But it's important that in order for those messages to be clear, you know, you have to be honest with yourself. And Aquarius season's really bringing it. Like, you have to be honest with yourself right now. It's just for a month. And again, this is going to be nuanced in your life for years to come. So maybe it's like better to get stubborn. Sometimes getting stubborn with something, it makes things go a lot easier. Or boundaries, we can call them that. We'll talk more about it in the next part. Thank you so much for being here, and happy Valentine's Day to those of you celebrating. I'll see you in Pisces season.